So, you say you want to buy a house. I love it. Thank you for joining me here at Get Me Ready to Buy a Home. This is all about preparation and knowledge so you can take action and get results and get your dream home or your dream goal home, investment property, whichever you'd like. So we're going to talk a little bit today about job history. It really is important for underwriters, the lenders, to know that you've been at your job, or we have a work history of usually 2 years, minimum of 2 years job history. Now, why do we ask for that? Well, we have to have some kind of a stable income environment, and we also want to make sure that we have the consistency that it's most likely going to stay that way or more in the next 3 years. So there needs to be a likelihood that this is going to continue for 3 years. So what happens is I get clients in my office and they say, I just started a brand new job, it's part-time. Unfortunately, since we need a 2-year history of part-time employment to actually get an income, so what we do with part-time employment is we take 2 years part-time employment, 24 months, we average it out 24 months, and then we look at what that income is, and that's what you get, that's what you use for income, as long as it's not declining. So there are certain standards or procedures or guidelines that we use as a lender that we have to look at to make sure you qualify for a loan. These are all areas at which a great loan officer will dive into and know exactly if we can use the income or not. Some of the horror stories I've heard is that somebody has a part-time job, they put on the application, they've had it for 2 years, come to find out they've only been there 1 year and 10 months, and all of a sudden the underwriter disavows all that income. That can happen to some people, so be very truthful on your application when you do file an application and when you're talking to a loan officer. That's real important that we get accurate information. So say you have a job, you've been there for 5 years, that's awesome. And maybe they change names because the company sold to another company, but you're doing the exact same job, everything's the same. As long as it's full-time employment, everything's all good. It doesn't matter if you've moved from here to there, to here to there, to here to there. As long as it's the same job with the same base salary, you're all good, or base income, you're good. Where I see people having some issues is if they are a representative, sales representative, and they get commission basis, and it's a big portion of their income, and they get overtime. Here's another one. You can go commission, overtime, or bonuses. They're all similar. If you don't have a 2-year history, how are we going to know how much you actually have in variable, we call it variable income. So if you went from job A and had great income, and this job is job B and they're paying you 10% more, but it's commission based, we might have an issue getting that qualified for income. Most likely we will. There are alternative programs and products that we can look into, but that's something to consider. So if you're considering changing jobs, maybe buy the house first. And then if you happen to change a job after you close escrow, easier to qualify that way. Wink, wink, right? So anyways, income is a big portion of how we underwrite the loans, and having job stability is one of the biggest things that we look at as a lender. If you have any questions regarding any of this, please reach out. Love to help you out. I know there's a lot to unpack here, but we've even had people that went on maternity leave, say they were a nurse, went on maternity leave for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then went back to work 6 months to 9 months. We've actually been able to use that income as long as we have a letter of explanation showing the gap and that they were doing the same type of job before and now. So, I mean, there's workarounds for a lot of these issues. Just reach out to your loan officer and they can talk you through it, but be very, very accurate with your information. I think that's the main point here. And thanks again for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much.